After 6 months, you'd finished the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
What were things like when you returned home? I'm guessing it wasn't just smooth sailing at that point?
No, I mean, when I was going during the treatment, I was very upbeat, happy, figured out a routine, and I was comforting everybody else. After the 6 month, I mentally thought, okay, treatment's over, that's it, it's done. But it was completely opposite. I actually ended up breaking down, having a nervous breakdown, thinking, this is it, what do I do? My moods were all over the place. I was extra irritated. I was aching all over. I felt lonely. I felt lost. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I wasn't capable of doing anything. It just really, really did come crashing down. I didn't want to go out. I'd sit in the house, and I remember there was days where I wouldn't literally, there were 2-3 days I wouldn't even step out the front door. I just shied away, and I felt so conscious. I'd go to, when I would manage to go out, and it'd be a simple thing like just going to the supermarket and doing a bit of shopping. I'd go and I'd be like standing in a queue, and I'd feel as though people were looking at me, and I think I'd have to scream out that and explain my story that I went through cancer. That's why I looked the way I did. Even then I was wearing my wig though. I was still wearing my wig that time, but I automatically felt conscious and paranoid. I didn't access no resources. At that time I didn't know anything was at hand, which again I think it's important to be told throughout the treatment. I didn't have anybody else to talk to who was going through anything. So all I had was family and friends, which was a help, but it's not what I wanted to hear, because all my families and friends were doing that. You know, you've come through the end. Again, it was the same thing, rest, sit down, rest, you know, you'll be okay. You'll feel like this because you've gone through that. You know, you'd feel a certain way because you've gone through your treatment. But I wanted to hear it from somebody who's experienced it, which I didn't have. So it is quite hard. It really is quite hard.
I think this is a very important observation that you're making, that when you discharge from the acute treatment, it's not necessarily easy, because you're effectively, your body's debilitated by the treatment. You're going to recover, but it's in the future. And you're basically at the beginning of a rehabilitation process that is not fully explained. You're sent home and there's this expectation, oh, I must be fine because I'm not coming to the hospital as frequently. But you've still got quite a long way to go at that point. Left to your own devices, it still could be quite a struggle. Yeah,
it definitely is. You automatically think that this is it, right? Treatment's over, the worst part's done, that's it. But it's not. The treatment in itself is the easiest part. It's like you just mentioned, the rehab is the hardest, and you're on your own. You're absolutely on your own, because no one can tell you how you're going to feel. No one's going to tell you what you have to do next. But me personally, I automatically thought, that's it, I can get back to normal. But you can't. I felt extra tired. I felt more tired than I was going through the treatment. I had to stay in bed longer. My muscles started aching me more, so I wasn't able to, just a simple thing like feeding my kids, I wasn't able to do that because my body would ache. Just getting ready, I couldn't do, which I wasn't aware of at all. I thought the hardest part was the treatment, what I was feeling, and the aches and pains and the low mood swings was all that. But it's 100 times worse, I say 100 times worse afterwards.
Now this is where hospital services and the voluntary sector needs to step in a way. Now I know hospital services often struggle here because all the resources have been put towards acute care, and then there's not much left, you know, to look at all this very important area.